2, 3.
Good evening, moms and dads, brothers, sisters, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, near and far. It's a thrill for us, both myself and Mr. Bones, to present these young musicians in the 2020 First Performance National Day of Celebration, a day that has been designed for recognizing the achievements of beginning music students. We know that you will be pleasantly surprised at their many accomplishments over these first few weeks. Not every child is fortunate enough to have the opportunity to play a musical instrument through an in-school music program like we have here at Highland Middle School. But we value music education, and we know that it's programs like these that also teach the skills needed to succeed throughout their school careers and into the real world. Playing an instrument takes physical coordination and mental concentration up here. It also takes regular practice time at home and your efforts to support them. It makes all the difference. All of the musicians here tonight have demonstrated the ability and desire to play and have thus earned membership in the Highland Middle School Orchestra. In today's performance, the students will demonstrate what they have learned up to this point in their brief but successful musical careers. As we were not able to kick off with summer camp this year, we have only been playing our instruments for 9 weeks. Isn't that right? After learning how to take the instrument out of the case and assemble it, they finally got to do what they had been wanting to do, produce their first sound. And it sounded something like this. It's obvious that they had a few challenges facing them for the next few days, and I had to wonder what was possible. The second week proved to be quite eventful, and we worked patiently until they could all produce their first note. Now it sounded like this. Quite an improvement, but they needed a lot more work to be ready for this performance. Producing that first note allowed them to continue through those first few lessons where they also learned to count where they played. This is important to help them learn to play together as a team. This is certainly more interesting than the first note, but it is still not a complete tune that you might identify. We learned a few more notes and discovered that we could link them together to play a tune, and you could recognize it at home. This might have been the moment at home where you felt like for the first time the music lessons were starting to take hold. This is what they sounded like at school that day. The students continued to follow this step-by-step process, and they completed each of these steps. Everyone was convinced that this was going to be one of the best middle school orchestras that we've ever had. Here is one of our favorite pieces. Several of our students have been so enthusiastic with their playing that they've gone outside of our practicing to present to you several solos and small groups. I'd like to play those for you now. Our string group has come a long way since that first note, and they've worked very hard to prepare for this first performance in such a short time. Just 9 weeks, and only 2 of those were in person. This has certainly been an exciting performance for all of us, and we are really glad that you've tuned in today to help celebrate this important milestone. Support at home is vital if your son or daughter is going to continue progress like this throughout the school year. So feel free to contact me for any ideas on how to support your child's practice schedule. You can be sure that I'm looking forward to communicating with you as your child advances. Our next performance will be presented in December with our annual holiday performance. More details will be coming out on Facebook and via Google Classroom. We will now present our final selection, entitled Old MacDonald Had a Old McLeonard White Had a McOrchestra. Please enjoy as we celebrate all the sections of our orchestra, and thank you for joining us for our first performance day of celebration.